All right, how's everyone doing? Happy Father's Day. That's when this is being recorded. Um, we're going to do the fire signs, and if you're new, welcome. My name's Mark, and this is Spirit Child 1723. That's what I go by, and that's what the YouTube station is. And you can kick back and check it out. And like I said, we're going to do fire signs. Yeah, I guess it'll be July. Let's do fire signs for the month of July. So, without any further ado, let's do it, guys. All right, Spirit, what do we got? Please and thank you for the fire signs in July. So, the intention is set. Got a few jumpers coming out. 10 of Pentacles to the 5 of Pentacles. Fire signs in the month of July. Please and thank you. Hope everyone's doing all right. Knight of Swords and the 3 of Wands. So let's see what's going on. First card out is Abundance card. Saying you're supported by the universe, the angels. This is a good money card, good abundance in all areas, not just money. But this is showing the Pentacles. But it's more focusing on this deck, the support, that you're in alignment with universe, higher power, God, creative intelligence, whatever you may use or name it. Then we have the 5 of Pentacles, isolation in this deck. Usually, any of the 5 cards are conflict or stuff not going well, so there might be a little bump in the road. We'll have to see more. We'll pull out a second row for this because to go from the 10 to the 5, there's something going on. Then you have the Knight of Swords coming in with some drama. Well, it could cause your could cause your pentacles to go down. Well, the Knight's a pretty strong energy. But if it's not in alignment, it's gonna bring an imbalance. Then we have the 3 of Wands, right? So preparation. This talks about your fire. It's representing fire. It's your desire and passions, but 3 cards about collaboration and sometimes using other people's ideas or energy, or subbing out part of a project. Whether it's creative or business or whatever. It's like not doing it all by yourself. So that's what that brings. Let's take another row. Let's clarify the 10 of Pentacles, please and thank you. Let's see if we can get a jumper here. All right. And that's clarify card for the 5 of Pentacles, please and thank you. All right. You got the Judgment card. Okay. And clarifier for the Knight of Swords, please and thank you. That's too many. And clarifier. Oh, 6 of Cups in reverse. The 3 of Wands clarified by the Knight of Cups. So, all right. So underneath the Page of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, we have the Queen of Cups, sensitivity. This is someone that's very loving, supportive, sometimes overgives, sometimes, taking care of others before themselves. That's, it could be typical soccer mom type energy if you need to relate it to something. And the 5 of Pentacles, which was a little trouble with the money for a moment, we got Judgment come out, and in this deck they're talking about the angel of the past. So it might be, you might be taking care of some things. For some of you, it might be, doing the final, financial adjustments on a divorce or a separation, or you know, kind of dividing property or assets or something to that degree, is that like it's all come to the front. It might have been a long chapter, and now there's new paths being made, and stuff has to be divided, and it might put a little setback financially, but you know what to do and you know what to fight for. So it's just a little bump in the road. um, and underneath the Knight of Swords, which was a drama card in this deck, we have support in reverse. So we have the Six of Cups, and we have that in reverse. So this is talking about not getting the support you need, and not having emotional support, from friends and family. This could be the lone wolf, or somebody in isolation, or somebody that's just withdrew a little bit, maybe took a little bit of a hit, maybe lost a job or lost a relationship, and they don't feel fully supported, or don't have a good support circle. And underneath the Three of Wands, which we were talking about, is collaboration, and being willing to do some parts of the project maybe someone else's way, and to hire people when needed. You know what I mean? Collaborate energy and help. And we have the Knight of Cups. So this is more spiritual base card, and this is definitely a lot more mellow than that Knight of Swords that came in, with his sword drawn up in the air, and he had something to say. But this is more of a female, looks like a female energy, you know, but a more passionate, more peaceful, laid back person, and they're linking it to spirituality. There's a cup out there. His emotions are balanced. He has a cup to give, and currently sitting in the feminine energy, and more focused on spiritual path, more than the 3D. All right. I'm going to take a few from this Archangel Michael deck. This is fire signs for the month of July. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Appreciate the people who are supporting the channel. I've been struggling. I'll be straight up honest. I've been struggling with doing this. I'm trying a few different things, and I look back at some of my other videos. I had some that we're not going to take any of these in reverse. I might have the deck upside down too. Yeah. But anyways, there's a couple that had 3,000 or 4,000 views, just a couple of them, and stuff with 100, hundreds, and 500, whatever. And lately it's nothing. So hopefully that's just a bump in the road. Maybe I have to make shifts, or maybe I do something totally different. Anyways. Got a few more cards from this Archangel Michael deck. This is for the fire signs in the month of July. Please and thank you. All right, regain your focus. All right, we got one more. All right, someone new's coming. All right, fire signs. All right, so the way forward is open. There's a treasure map here. The angels are giving you a little guidance and asking you to follow the path. It says you are here if you follow the path to joy, and that goes by following your passions and being authentic to yourself, is my experience. This card is 32, which is a 5, which usually is transformation. It says you're not trapped. Possibilities and opportunities abound. I will give you the personal and spiritual freedom. So I get it as, follow your passions and the money will come, the pentacles will come. That falls under the vertical row with the 10 of Pentacles, by the way. And the next card from Archangel Michael deck is your prayers are being answered. Your prayers are being received by the divine. Answers will come soon, although perhaps in forms you didn't expect. So, for those of you that got involved at all with any of the angel movement or whatever, Doreen Virtue used to say, You know, when you say a prayer, you know, it's like mailing a letter. You gotta let it go at the mailbox. You gotta drop it off, and it's the same thing when we request something from our higher power or the angels or our spirit guides, and look for guidance. And you know, we got to ask, and then we got to watch for signs. And they give you pieces and crumbs, you know, they're not going to give you more when you haven't acted out on the first step. That was one of the hardest lessons for myself to learn, and still learn at times, especially with creative stuff, you know. um, they're not going to give you the next step till you've done what they keep bringing up to you, you know. um, and you can always ask for, you know, signs, symbols, synchronicities. All right, underneath the Six of Cups, which was in reverse, lack of support, we have regain your focus. That's a 9, end of the cycle. It's 27, adds up to 9. That's the end of the cycle. Looks like Metatron's cube here that he uses to clear your energy. Trivial life matters are distracting you from your goals. Archangel Metatron and I are here to help you stay grounded. So Archangel Metatron and Archangel Michael are there. Archangel Michael's calling card is usually a darker blue cobalt, sometimes white speckles, and Metatron's kind of the rainbow, and works with the rainbow children and special needs children. They say for the teachers and guides of those children to call on Archangel Metatron. And Archangel Michael's patron of you know, the police, giving the police, firemen, that type of workers protection. Um, you know, and that could be just the Catholics' view on that. All right, so underneath Knight of Cups, we had a very composed male energy, but in their feminine. You know, kind of preparing their cup to offer, I guess. You know, even though Knight usually has movement behind it. We have 28. Someone new is coming, which is a 10, which goes back to a 1, which is the beginning of a cycle. An important new relationship is on the horizon. Open your mind and heart that happiness can enter your life. So this is saying to stay open and trust in divine timing, and there's somebody coming down your path. We're going to take another row from the Archangel Michael deck. I like the guidance that was given. Let's take another row and see what happens. Fire signs for the month of July, please and thank you. Do like that. Pray from the heart. Another 5 card, which is transformation. Another card above it to the right says prayers are being answered. All right. Wow. Okay. Angels are healing with you. Prioritize self-care. All right. So prayer rarely can move mountains. Reach out to the divine with your heart concerns and watch miracles unfold. So this is Archangel Michael listening to someone's prayers, you know, someone that's asked for divine guidance or help or has that relationship and trust built in there. Then you have the angels of healing are with you. They're showing the column signs for Archangel Raphael and Archangel Michael, the green medical staff, and again the blue on the sword. A time of healing is about to bless your life. Accept Archangel Raphael's emerald green light while I enhance your strength. So shows Archangel Raphael's healing the heart, you know what I mean? And Archangel Michael's giving you protection. Well, you know, not all healing journeys are, you know, fun till they're over, you know, and then, you know, you could start right back on another one, you know. There is reward and there is rest in between, but you know, sometimes for other parts of your life to balance out, the inside work is some healing work, and you got to slow down. You don't have to do anything. If you want to get better, suggested that you slow down and find the help you need with that. You know, constantly jumping back into a relationship, you know, with the same energy, with the same thinking, the same problems, going to attract the same person with a different name, right? Same characteristics. And then it has prioritize yourself, 24, which is 6. You do so much for others. It's time for you to experience the love you deserve and let others help you. I always looked at 6 as getting unstuck and kind of like fine tuning a choice. You know, I get that off the 7 cards too. But this is talking about just doing simple things, taking time to go out in nature and maybe just, turn off the, cell phone or put it on do not disturb for 5 minutes. You know what I mean? 5 minutes and just try to be with yourself and nature and with God. All right. I'm going to regret it, but we're going to do one row with the single and relationship cards on this Oracle deck. This is for the fire signs in the month of July. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Oh, yeah. Nothing jumping here. The cards are wanting to clump and stick. Let's see if the energy can move through them. Get any jumpers. All right. We'll just take a row. We're going to go back to 4 cards. Seeking perfection, unsocial, eye candy, and addiction. You see, I told you. I knew we'd be into something here if we looked at this. All right, seeking perfection. Everyone has flaws. Choose only 5 must-haves and deal breakers that matter. Okay? So this is saying, are your standards too high? And it doesn't mean to settle, but it's just saying, are they too unrealistic to even allow a chance for spirit to work in a potential relationship? That's what I get. I can do it. It's easy, especially if fear creeps in. I can point out a couple things real quick, like this won't work because of this. I don't know that, and I have no proof of that. This is a different person. All right. Unsocial. You need to get out and mingle with new people so you can meet someone. So again, it's about can't be in total isolation and not willing to even go out with friends and spend time in a hobby that might be on the outside of your house and not in front of the screen or the phone or whatever. Kind of getting out in the 3D world, right? And we have eye candy. Beauty fades. Choose someone for their inner beauty and personality. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell someone in their 20s and 30s that, but, as you start to get past 45, and in my case, past 55, hey, you know, there's other things that are real important too, mainly, I think one of the best questions to ask is, can I totally be myself, in front of this person and not be embarrassed? Can I be silly? Can I be the goofy self and still be okay with it? And they accepting of that, and they accept me fully how I am and accept whatever family I was born into, etc. That's not always easy. And then we have the addiction card. You're either obsessed with someone or struggling with addiction, get help. So, yeah, I've dealt with addiction, both with substances and food, which is a substance too, and has chemical effects the way stuff's manufactured today and processed. Um, but what I'm getting for this reading, it's more about love, or more like, is somebody chasing the feeling of falling in love? You know what I mean? Um, that can be a little, hit on your adrenaline system. And there's some people that chase that. Some people know they are and why they're doing it, and some people are just doing it and have many, 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 many 3-month relationships over and over and over and over and over and over. And if they're okay with that, and that's okay for their end goal or their short-term goal, hey, power to them. Let's take a couple more, man. All right. Let's take 2 more cards for fire signs in the month of July. Please and thank you. I'll go one more time. Nothing jumps. Got one jumper, so we'll shuffle again. Excuses. This guy looks like he's coming out of addiction here. Holding on. All right. All right, fire signs. What we got here? Excuses. You have so many reasons that it never works out. Find reasons that it can work. So this goes back to like what I was saying. You can find 101 ways or possibilities why something might not work, but we're giving it a fair chance with both our energy and our time. And then we have holding on. You must release old ties in order to have a fresh start with somebody new. So, not to be redundant, guys, but this is what I'm talking about. This is, about the energy side of this, right? Which some people don't care about, but they're the ones that seem to get stuck or caught up the most, it can be human nature to do, but until you let go of one thing, God can't put something else in your hand. If I got it closed like this and I'm just stuck on that person coming back, I can't grab something new, you know. Talking about letting go. Sometimes just letting it blow up. Let the tower happen, and seek, even though it's harder, seek new friends and seek new clubs and adventures and new things to do. And it's hard as an adult, and I think it's hard as a young adult too. In your 20s and stuff, if you move to a town and you really don't have support or family or built-in friends, that are already there, it can be tough. Um, but that's the key, is to have get some form of roots you know, in. And like, I know for myself, I've only been here 2 years where I'm at. Some of the relationships at the gym with the same people that go there at the same time as me in the morning, they've gone beyond just little, chit chats at times. They're nothing great, but it just leaves an avenue open, for spirit to work. I like finding out what people do, or if they have a business, they run on the side or whatever. It's like I like knowing about that, as long as the person's somewhat friendly. All right, I'm gonna go to this John Holland deck to close this reading. This is fire signs in July. So this is a message from Spirit. Strength comes from many sources. Staying strong brings confidence, conviction, and a balanced body, mind, and soul. Spirit has its own unique and beautiful way of replenishing your soul with strength on a continual basis. You're never really alone, as we are always with you. So this has, kind of a blending of the first three chakras, which are the base, the sacral, and the solar plexus, coming up, from where your torso starts, right? Um, and John Holland's really talented medium, and really tries to explain how it works and what he's doing while he's giving the readings. I've been fortunate to sit in a couple of his classes when I was in New England, and he's a good teacher, and you know he's really really emphasizes, you know we're spiritual first, having a human experience. Yeah, we have to deal with everything out in the world, but like, when you need the real answers that are going to satisfy your soul, that's at a soul level, guys and girls. That's like at a soul level. Those answers come from inside, you know. Again, have a good Father's Day. And please like and subscribe if you made it to the end of the video. I welcome any comments, any suggestions, whatever. If you feel compelled to share something, I will look at the comments in time and respond when I can. And just have a blessed month. Spirit Child 1723. All right, we'll see you.